your mortals? Trey, Xavier here. I'm here with the one and only, the legendary Michael Anthony. How
Everybody
are you doing,
keeps
my dude?
saying that.
Well, it's just plain true. I mean,
I am the one and only?
The unknown, the unheard of.
The legend in his own
mind. Oh, you might
mind.
not be the one and only.
Legend in his own mind.
I mean, I've never seen two of you in the same place at the same time. So.
I have, but I won't even discuss what kind of shape I was in that night.
Well,
so what's happening?
Not a whole lot. I'm having a great NAMM. How about you?
Yeah, I'm having a good NAMM so far.
Great.
Don't ask me later on today.
Yeah. Yeah, it's always, it starts out great and then progressively, diminishing returns. But, so I hear that you have a new amp.
Yes.
It's, tell the folks at home what it's called and what it's all
about.
about.
It's called the VBMA, and it's a Peavey amp. You know, we've been working on it for some time, but now we're like really ready to give it the push and get it out there to the masses. And it's a great amp. We've been actually when I first met the Peavey people back in 2009, when Chickenfoot, our band with Josiah Trey and Chad Smith, we were recording our first album, and they were just developing this amp, and they asked me if I would kind of R&D it for them and check it out. So they gave me a bunch of gear, and I took it out on the road, and I was very impressed with it. So about a year and a half later, they asked me if I wanted to do a signature amp. And I just kind of.
I mean, you're a pretty good guy to get for R&D. Like, oh, who do we got?
Yeah.
Just let's ask Michael Anthony. Why
not?
Not?
Be at the right place at the right time to go. Hey. And I was really kind of in between companies, because there was another company I had been endorsing that I had recently left because just a lot of changes in the company and whatever I wasn't too pleased with. And well, I wasn't actively looking for something, but they just kind of came in at the right time and said, "Hey, you want to check this out?" And I'm it's a great tube amplifier. I'm a big fan of tube amps. I mean, I like the minis and the solid state things and whatever. They all sound good, but especially for stage, man, there's nothing like that tube sound.
Yeah. And I imagine you don't have to do a whole lot of hauling of them either, like.
No, my tech Kevin, he hauls it all for me.
He's like, I don't really like tube amps quite as much as Michael does.
But a cool thing about it too is the heat sinks and just certain things that they put in the amp lightened it up a lot too, and that's all the latest technology that they use. But they still got the big power tubes and everything, which I like, and the preamp tubes.
So it's all tube.
Yeah.
It's a tube preamp, tube power amp. What other cool features does it have?
It's got when I first started working with them, they had put in a distortion channel on it, but all it was one volume knob, and it kind of sounded kind of screechy, like razor blades coming at you when you hit on it. And I hadn't thought about doing like a distortion channel in any kind of amp, but I thought, well, let's check it out. And so what we ended up doing was I asked them if we could just do like a blend type of thing, and also put some tonal control in it too, so you can have total control over the volume and the tone. And this way, like when you're playing the amp, which I love using the amp, but if you got to use it at like a lower volume, let's say, you can dial it in. Yeah. I like the natural distortion of the tube amp myself, and I can really let it go. But it's nice to just blend a little bit of it in for certain things, and it sounds really good. It sounds really natural. It's not like it's a sound on top of it.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Well, have you used it on any recordings or anything yet, or any?
I haven't used it on any actual recordings yet, but I have used it quite a lot on stage, and in the live situation, it's killer, man. It's big and bad, and it's got a great grunt and edge to it.
What are you playing through in terms of a speaker cab?
It's an 810. It's an 810 bottom that they have. It's a 300 watt amp, and I normally use. I'll drive at least 2 cabinets per head, so that I can really open the amp up, crank it up, and let it work, let it do its thing. And it's just great. It's got great bottoms, got great tonal range, and it's very full. There aren't any dead areas. I'm always worried about like dead spots, like when you're upstage. Sometimes there's a hole, or if you're like right off the stage, it kind of loses it and then comes back again further out. And I've stood just off stage, just to listen to what people in the first few rows would hear, and it's great. I mean, it's nice and full, and so I'm really pleased with that.
That's awesome. That sounds like you're really thinking about every not just yourself, but everybody who's going to be blasted with this thing. You know,
yeah, well,
that's very important.
All the years that I played bass, and especially in a live situation, you're kind of at the mercy, or you are totally at the mercy of your out front mixing guy.
Right.
You know, so it almost, in the kind of situation we're in, it almost doesn't matter what you're playing on stage, because if you can't make it sound good out there, which luckily the guy that we use in our band, The Circle, he's great. But I also want it to sound good. You know, just like I said, coming off the stage, so the first few rows can hear it and does all that, man.
That's awesome. I mean, in a world where a lot of people are going pretty much direct with no on-stage amplification at all, it's a whole different thing. Like if you're playing through a 50,000 watt like PA system, you know, a lot of people are like, oh, it doesn't really matter. I'm just going to go straight into my DI box with a little direct thingy, and then they're going to make it really loud. But then the on-stage volume, it's
well, there is no on-stage volume, basically, you know.
Yeah.
And you know, I guess that kind of stems from me being old school, you know, like, you know, growing up in the bands of the '60s, and obviously we came out in the '70s, and where, you know, we were kind of like an out front sound mixer's nightmare, because there were times when we were so loud, we had out front guys just pull all the faders down and throw their arms up and go, I don't even need you guys in the PA, you know, you're so freaking loud.
God.
But, you know, as years go on, and you kind of figure out how to work around that. But, yeah, I mean, I gotta have sound on stage, and I've used in-ears before, but they're very kind of unnatural feeling to me. And when I sing, especially if I'm singing a high part or screaming or whatever, it sometimes breaks the seal. And I just, and besides that, I kind of feel like kind of disjointed. So I've been wetting a little cotton and putting it in my ears just to take the top end, like sizzle off cymbals and whatever. That's what I've been doing my whole life. And it works great, and just to have just to feel the sound coming behind you.
Yeah,
For me, that's what it's all about.
You can't feel anything in in-ears. You gotta, and that's what the bass is all about. It's you're defining the chord. You're setting the stage for everything else that's going on, and the physical sensation of the music passing through you.
Exactly. Not to mention sending a few people to the bathroom, you know?
Here comes the brown note. Boom.
Oh,
everybody,
God.
Suddenly there's a line for the men's room. All right, well, how about a little bit about your plans for the coming year with your various groups?
Okay, well, the one thing that's what's pretty much set in stone right now, Sammy Hagar and my band, The Circle, we just finished recording a new album end of this past year. Mm-hmm. And actually, this next coming week, we're going to start streaming the first single off of it. It's called Trust Fund Baby.
I know a couple of those.
And the album's going to come out like right around April, and we're going out right now. We're booking shows starting in April.
Cool.
We're going to go out, and we got a lot of stuff. We're going to go out and we're going to play quite a lot of shows. And we got a really great production that we're putting together, so it's actually going to be an actual tour, you know.
Yeah.
Still looking at some opening acts and whatever, but it's gonna be a lot of fun. So that's what we got happening right now.
Great. Anything from Chickenfoot or?
Chickenfoot is on a hiatus right now.
Okay.
For some, everybody's schedules are such. Joe Satriani, to try to get some free time out of him, and Chad Smith too. But,
I mean, it's a super group. I can't believe you even got together for as many times as you have.
Yeah, but if we do it, it's not going to be one of these things where, somebody's got some ideas and, okay, we'll send you the file and you the file. Yeah. Chickenfoot does it where we go in the studio together and we jam. That's how we did both the albums that we did, and that's the way that this band is. So I'm sure it'll come around again. It's just not the right time yet, but everything will align. Everyone's schedules will come together, and we'll do it again soon.
Okay. Well, that sounds great, and looking forward to all of that. And I'm gonna hopefully try your amp out myself and feel the power.
Check it out
between my fingers. Great to talk to you, my dude.
Good talking to you.
Thanks so much. Good luck out on the road. Check out The Circle.
Thank you.
2019 new single being streamed
Circle.
very soon. And thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you real soon. Peace out.
Woo.